What is up, guys? And today we're taking a look at the new spoilers for chapter 1098 of One Piece. Now it says here that this is actually going to be a short chapter of 15 pages. Oda couldn't finish the manuscript this week, so many of the pages aren't actually 100% complete, and some of the panels are only sketches. I hope he's alright, as long as it's, I don't know if it's for medical reasons that he's not been able to do it or whatever, but I do hope he is okay. Now, onto the chapter itself. Chapter 1098 is titled The Birth of Bonney. Now, it starts off by saying that Brook is on the cover page, and Brook's painting an apology message from Oda, basically saying, I couldn't finish the drawing in time, sorry Oda, you know what, it's fine, we're happy to wait, you know what I mean, as long as you're okay. Now the actual chapter itself says that Ginny was kidnapped to become Tenryubito's wife. We can't see who, let me see here, we can't see who was the Tenryubito who married her in this chapter. It's reported that Ginny's entire Revolutionary Army troop was annihilated in the surprise attack by the world government. Now, after Ginny was kidnapped, the Revolutionary Army became more violent and Kuma became much more intense in battles. We see the moment when the Revolutionary Army picked up people from the Goa Kingdom. After that, Kuma teleported to another island to help the rebels. Kuma ended the battle in that island all by himself. And Bonney is the child that was born from Ginny and Tenryubito. Ah, okay, so Kuma isn't Bonney's biological dad or whatever you call it. We do know who that is now, so that is actually really interesting there. Now it does say here that 2 years later Ginny contracted a mortal disease called sapphire scale, and it's a very rare disease, even more rarer than amber lead syndrome, which was the disease Law had as a child. Now when the patients come in contact with natural light, be that sunlight or moonlight, the disease causes their entire body to become blue and their skin gets hard like rocks and scales. Now Ginny essentially becomes unrecognisable due to the disease, so Tenryubito released her. Now we can't see Ginny's face in all the chapter, we just hear her voice. Ginny actually returns to the Sorbet Kingdom and left Bonney with the elders from the island. Okay, so I'm curious to see how Bonney ends up sort of becoming so attached to Kuma. Perhaps Kuma takes her in or something like that, but I'm sure we'll find that out later anyway. Now it does say that then Ginny called the Revolutionary Army from inside the church where she lived with Kuma. Now Ginny does say here, Seven really want to see everyone again, but this is a farewell. And Ivankov says, what? And Kuma says, what are you talking about, Ginny? I thought I'll never see you again. Where you right now? I'll go immediately. Now it said that during the conversation they identified Ginny's location, so Kuma teleported to the Sorbet Kingdom. Ginny said one last thing to Kuma, but he couldn't hear because he was teleporting where Ginny was, and she says, Kuma, I love you. Oh, romantic. Now Kuma actually arrives at the Sorbet Kingdom, but Ginny was already dead. Kuma laid Ginny to rest. Ginny is her official name. It says here as it does appear on her grave. Now, here we go. So now we get into it. Kuma decided to raise Bonney with the elders' help. Kuma teleported to the Revolutionary Army from time to time, and we can see montages of Kuma's activities with them, including him training Sabo. But unfortunately, Bonney as well started to develop sapphire scale disease too. So Kuma decided to quit the Revolutionary Army and take care of her. Now Dragon did actually allow this, and he told Kuma he will ask all the doctors he knew in case any of them could actually help Bonney. But Kuma had no idea what to do to treat her, so he basically decided that she couldn't leave the church to avoid natural light. Kuma started to bring Bonney books about different islands to read, and he does ask her, if you could travel, where would you like to go, Bonney? That's really interesting there, because that's very similar to the Sabaody arc, where Kuma takes out all the Straw Hats. He actually does say to them something along the lines before he pops them off to some random island. Well, we know it's not random at this point, because it was to sort of train them. But he asked them as well, if you could go anywhere, where would you like to go, before he disappears them, so that's interesting. Now it says Kuma and Bonney enjoyed together dancing and living as father and daughter, and Bonney's face had blue stones due to sapphire scale, so Kuma called her jewellery, which I guess is where she gets her name from. Now it says that some years have passed. We are now 6 years ago from the present, and Bonney is 5 years old. Kuma talked with a doctor about Bonney's disease, and the doctor basically said that although Bonney have never come in contact with natural light, the disease would still get worse with age, and she will die when she turns around 10 years old. Now Bonney actually overheard the conversation, which, I mean, I don't even know what that would do to you, but she's only heard the around 10 part. She was very happy since she misunderstood that she would be cured when she was turned 10, and Kuma always told her optimistically that her disease will be cured one day. Now he couldn't tell her the truth and he didn't know what to do. Another year passed, so we're now 5 years ago from the present. Bonney's 6 years old, and the chapter ends with Bakori, who's the former Sorbet king, returning to the Sorbet kingdom and started killing all the citizens, and the people of course ask Kuma for help. Now it does say that this is the end of the chapter and there is another break next week, so I guess we will have to sort of wait longer for that, but as soon as we do have that I will be covering that for you guys. So again, thanks for watching. Please, if you do like the content, subscribe and stay tuned. Yeah, peace out.